We can now bring in our international affairs editor, Angela Diffley. Angela, good afternoon. Good to see you. Why was somebody who was so close to Vladimir Putin replaced?
Yes, it was well known that they were very close. They even holidayed together. Sergei Shoigu had been defense minister since 2012. And so for many, this has come as something as a surprise. It should be noted that it looks like efforts have been made not to humiliate him. He's been moved to the Security Council and will be a key advisor to Putin. We'll see later on whether that amounts to much. Behind this are two issues, really. There is growing disquiet about what appears to be a culture of corruption within the defense ministry. Just last month, Sergei Shoigu's number two, Timur Ivanov, was charged with corruption. And there was growing comment about a culture of corruption. And also, since the beginning of this war, really, the hawks, those who have really backed Russia's invasion of Ukraine, have been extremely critical of Shoigu. He is not a military man, and they have made clear, loud and clear, that what's going on in the battlefield, it should have all been much easier. An estimated 350 or so soldiers might have been lost on the battlefield, and he's been very much held to account for going ahead with this war in a way that is not the best way.
So he's not a military man, but nor is his replacement.
No, and this replacement, it's very much being painted by Moscow as a bid to curb spending within the defense ministry. The man who has been chosen is an economist and is not a military man either himself, and he is expected to curb corruption also. He has a reputation for honesty. He has no real power base, so won't be a threat to Putin either. And the idea is that it appears the Russians are concerned that this war will be very long-lasting and that they need to be clear that they can both manufacture and buy enough weapons to win this thing. And so it's very much about putting the defense sector a priority within the economy, and that will be his job. And that's what this is all about, we're being told by Kremlin.
So let's talk about all these changes are happening at the top of Moscow's defense ministry as Russia is making gains on the battlefield in Ukraine.
Yeah. Particularly in the Kharkiv region, which is on the border with Russia, there are a number of small units infiltrating and causing considerable damage. Lots of people have left Kharkiv city. That said, most military analysts they reckon that the way this is being pursued suggests that there's no real attempt to try to capture Kharkiv. That would be too difficult and too difficult to hold on to. The idea, it appears, from Russia is to lure soldiers away from the eastern front line, and make them busy with trying to defend that area in the northeast around Kharkiv. The Russians are increasingly keen to make progress before that US aid, military aid, which was finally voted, reaches the front line, before the new higher number of soldiers after a recruiting campaign in Ukraine takes place. They are keen to make as much progress as they can before any of that happens. And hence this big offensive in Kharkiv and the Ukrainians struggling at the moment.
We'll see how things pan out. Thank you very much for that, Angela.